a little bit late, but it's just whatever. If I can get this to work, if it's gonna fucking show up. There we go. It took a little bit longer than expected. That's okay. Can I see chat? Can I get chat to load? Because if I get chat to load, it'll be fine. Welcome in, welcome in. Well, I wish the chat would load so I can get stuff done. How's it going? It's going pretty well. I can't complain. What about you? Don't you dare tell me. Alright, good. What in the heck? Oh, I didn't do the one thing I was supposed to do with it. That's why it didn't work. Alright. There we go. Alright. We go to here. There we go. Now we're ready. Now we got everything working. Everything is wonderful. It's supposed to be exactly. Good to hear that. I'm really, really glad to hear that. How do I feel about the earthquake? I don't really have any feelings towards the earthquake at all. It was, you know. I don't necessarily have a thought about it. I mean, other than just, you know, that being another call of nature saying that things are going to change and that they're, you know, I mean, if you're in the know, you know, like there's certain states that are going to be getting weird shit to happen, like it's like South Carolina, and a few other states. I forgot the other states, but I remember that South Carolina is going to be in there. But there's just going to be a lot of weird phenomena within the weather for this month. Well, all throughout April, really. Well, yeah, hopefully everyone here is doing well. Hey, welcome in, Anna. I missed you as well. We finally got it going. I haven't heard anything about the countries being broken up into states, but I wouldn't put it past. I know that there's gonna be like, well, I've heard, I shouldn't say I know, but I've heard there's gonna be different like mountains and bodies of water created because of this. New bodies of water just being like deeper wells, right? But the tectonics don't move this much for no reason, especially all the solar flares, because that solar flare that we had was on the big solar flare that we had was on the same day of that earthquake. If y'all knew about that. But yeah, this evening's really good. This evening's very, very calm. So I thought about just hopping on and just chilling, seeing what's popping on. Popping up, whatever. On, up, same difference. But yeah. Yeah, I'm doing 2-card pulls. What do you need the 2-card pull on? Just anything in general, or? or anything in specific or general, excuse me. Let's do more. It doesn't really matter, not picky. Well, I need to know. What am I supposed to pick up on if I don't know what I'm going to be picking up on? You know what I mean? Like, if I don't know what to do a reading on for you, what good is the reading going to be? In general, your past life. You're not going to get anything about a past life from tarot. What I can tell you about the past life is that you weren't a very nice person to be in this realm with all these lower vibrational activities happening on it. You know what I mean? Like, fuck what everyone says about saying that you were royalty and stuff. The reason that you're here on this plane at this time is to fix things. You know, this whole entire reincarnation is about reconnecting back to the heart space. So there was a really big disconnect with that if you want to know about the past life. But in general, I can get you. But yeah, I got you, Queen. Let's see, Phoenix. Yeah, I did not spell your name right at all. I'm not gonna even fix it. I know who that is. But yeah, let me get Queen first, then I'll get you Phoenix for sure. And as well, I can't see your name anymore. Michelle, and as well, Michelle, I appreciate the support, truly. I'm here just to talk and spread knowledge. And I'm gonna be uploading, I'm gonna be making, excuse me, that video on the on that sleep protection after this live. I had to find all the books, and that took me a while to do. And I've also just had a busy day finishing things up. Yeah, that was the last Mount Alkaline Water. I have Deer Park to drink now, or whatever it's called. Let's see here. So Queen, first off you have is the Nine of Pentacles. You might be in a rushed mood, or feeling like the current situation on the physical isn't one that you need to like go through, but there's some sort of lesson in it. There's a need to slow down and really observe everything around you at this time. Whether that lesson is to be a motivator or a reconstructor, however, there's this energy of trying to rush past it or not seeing something as deeply or as clearly as you need to at this time. So really take focus into really delving into that inner parts of you and being in a relaxed environment. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles after that, because it might be that you're trying to find a solution to a problem or find the ending of a situation, and it's not that it hasn't hit you yet, it's just you haven't quite seen it yet, and there's an operation that needs to happen for you to fully choose that path. So really take time, slow down, look around you, and make sure that you're cleaning up anything that you need to clean up at this point in time. But definitely slow down and move with a little bit more grace within things. And invite more of that childhood wonder back into your moving. Yeah, Phoenix, let's get you on keeping the cool during situations. So first off, with the moon reverse, this is about your conscious self. Instead of the subconscious, it's very known. You might be silencing the wrong type of awareness in this sense. Being too aware of things can definitely make you overstimulated. So take a look at the things that are happening around you on the physical, rather than trying to look at it from like a higher point. If you are dealing with that stress, instead of like seeing it as just a one-sided point of view, know that there's multiple sides to look at it. And as well silence the mind a bit more, silence the rational mind. It's going to tell you all the things that you don't want. So allow yourself to know that those are things that you don't want, and don't grab onto it, and don't hold so closely to it. With the Nine of Pentacles, that's how you're really going to allow things to move like forward for you. This is that genie in a bottle. This is the manifested card, excuse me, where it's like the genie in the bottle. You're at the test. You've mastered this feeling state to where your feelings aren't being controlled by your thoughts, but your feelings are generating thoughts, fueling thoughts, so that you can move forward more straightly, and less like all over the place. So really pay attention to that right now, Phoenix, and really just have this, like, it's almost like a rebirth of how you view things. And whenever you start seeing that the rational mind is showing you things that you're not wanting, it's protecting you from that sense, then you can begin to focus your attention on solutions rather than moving forward. Moving forward with a blank mindset. Excuse me, I couldn't finish that sentence. But yeah, that's what that one was for you, Phoenix. What kind of questions do you need to ask for 2-card pool? I don't know. You're the one supposed to be asking me the question for what you went to 2-card pool on. You know, you can ask me about anything. Just make sure that it's not about anyone else, and because that's not what tarot is used for. And I'm not gonna sit here and like lie to people. For 2-card? Yeah, sure. What do you want the 2-card on? From the angel deck? Yeah, here, let me get this list back up. Well, health, tarot's not going to tell you much about, like, health, depending on what you mean by health. Let's see here. Who else wanted one? But yeah, Cindy, what kind of 2-card did you want? Have you been manipulated for the past 7 years? Do you feel like you have? That's not really something you need to get a reading on. That's just something you need to observe your own self. You know what I mean? You picked the deck? Well, I mean, you picked the deck. What deck do you want? I'm not going to pick for you. You're coming to me for the reading. You know what I mean? What is the future of the USA? What holds? Not the US for longer, I'll tell you that much. What decks do you have? I have the Tarot deck, the Shadow deck, the Angel deck. And those are the decks I would be using. Let me get them out here, actually. Sometimes it's... Angel deck, okay. No, you're good. I just don't play that whole game of like let spirit choose for you. Like if you're wanting something, you should be able to choose what you're desiring. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole point isn't to becoming like codependent on it. It's to work together with it, to cooperate. But I can get like I don't know. I'm trying to think of the question that would fit Savoy's reading. Because again, it's like that's not really something you would need to get a reading on. That's more of like an observation. an observer point of view to work on. But let me get Sydney and Daniel as well. I'll think about that because I can't pinpoint it right now. I don't really know who you're telling that to. But go off, I guess. That's not why I'm here. If you're looking for someone to teach you that, wrong place, dog. You know, you should go find someone who can do that for you. Let me get you down here. Go vegan. Again, I don't know who you're telling that to, but you know, you can have fun saying that all you want. And no worry, Phoenix, I got you. Goodness gracious, you can go get a life somewhere. That'd be really cool. We don't need some rando just threatening shit for no reason. Go get some rest, buddy. Go close your eyes, go get some sleep. Wait, yeah, here, let me get Sydney real quick. So Sydney, your angel card is the 3 of Gabriel. Prosperity arising from wise planning, time to take the next step, optimistic plans that turn out as expected, and the Sun, Archangel Uriel. Life is wonderful, thrive through the power of positive thinking and inspiring success. So definitely move, if you're struggling with an idea of a plan moving forward, or just wondering if it's time to move forward, definitely move forward, but investigate why you're wanting to move forward. Not really your thoughts, but your feeling state. And allow yourself to be vibrant in the time. Allow yourself to walk in with an innocence. Don't be afraid to try something new or to follow your heart in this new situation and this new path moving forward. Daniel, let's get your 2 card for angels. And let's see what's going on. Yeah, also, I don't know, like, there's no reason to threaten to kill people if they don't go vegan, like, dog. Like, that's like a meat eater saying. If you're gonna even tell anyone to go vegan, I think they need to, because their brain's all fucked up if they're thinking that, dog. Let's just keep real. See here. For Daniel, you have the 3 of Michael, which is release the past. You will grow from the situation. Time heals all wound. In peace with Archangel Azrael. Release the past. There's a more enriching future coming. Let go and let God. So definitely, if you've been struggling to letting go of something or having past memories of something coming up, allow yourself to walk through it and move through it with grace. Whatever you're going through with this eclipse definitely has an effect on it, where it's like releasing something or taking something out of the life so something new can grow in. Really allow that to just happen at this time, and allow it to happen within like grace. Like allow your inner child to like flourish with this releasing. A minute. Saint Nick, let's see what's going on for you in the angel deck. I'll take the bottom. I mean, the split. So, Saint Nick, you have the Four of Ariel. When you give, you also receive, being resistant to change, extremes in how you save or spend money. And the Ten of Michael. The situation has ended. You are finally free. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you. So in this case, Saint Nick, it's definitely time to move forward. In the present moment, you've done all that you can. It's time for the new look and a new chapter. Just allow the thoughts of the ideas that you may have left behind, allow those things to cease and to come back if needed. And as well, just be more focused on moving forward with that change rather than being stuck within that past. You know, like, because I know how it is, like, moving different cycles and stuff. You'll end up thinking, like, did I miss anything? Is there anything else I need to do before moving forward? And right now, the answer is not really anything. It's just to allow this new cycle to commence, and if anything does come back, handle it then. Kind of free yourself of that at this time. I mean, that's not what God does, Fel. You don't, your rational mind is the part of you that has free will, but it uses that free will to not listen to the divine. The only person that brings upon pain in that sort of way is the devil. God doesn't do that. That's not the divine's plan. That's the rational self. And that's the untrained mind doing what it does best. So, I'll just let you know that right now. Because it's not God that punishes you, it's yourself, it's your egoic state. How do you know if you're being manipulated? I mean, just getting the feelings that you're being manipulated. To really tell if you're being manipulated is if you say something and it's always being combated with something else. And it's not in the sense of like giving an opinion. It's of, oh, you said we were going to do this. Oh, well, we were. But, you know, that's not the whole case. Just, I don't know how to describe when it comes to being manipulated. Because it's really like paying attention to body language, and not only body language, but the way people are talking in that sense. Like, falling through plans, because being sabotaged, I mean, being manipulated really starts from yourself, where you're not listening to yourself. So practicing listening to yourself more, listening to your gut more, being in a more grounded state. Well, it says, well, I don't really even do a reading for that, Monty. Success is a personal thing. So if you're thinking success is an external thing, you're not thinking about success right. Success is a personal venture. So, you know, you'll be successful when you truly begin to know that you're successful, when you truly are following the path that you're desiring and not letting anything knock you off of it, and you continue to do it day by day. That's success. Because a lot of people think success is an end goal where it happens and then it like goes to something new. Success is a constant thing. Every day is going to be a new success in that sense. So really stop gauging success by time and how far something has gone, and more by how much you're enjoying it. Fame is the important. Well, fame isn't success. So those are two different terms. Well, I mean, if you're already successful, then why'd you ask about, well, sex? How long did you, like, you just, I don't know. Now you're contradicting your main statement, because now I'm confused. I can't really give a reading on that, because you've already answered what you're wanting. Yeah, if you like, the best way to really deal with like thinking about if you're being manipulated or not, step away from the situation. You know, remove yourself from it and see it from a third person view. See it from a bird's eye view instead of being so close with it. I mean, yeah, it's a better question. It's egoic as hell, but I mean, it's a better question. And how do you? Well, choosing the right path is easy. You just listen to your heart. That shouldn't be a question. If you're already successful, then wouldn't that indicate that you're already on the right path? You know what I mean? Like, these are questions that can be answered within the question that you're giving. Because if your end goal is to become famous and you're already successful in that sense, you're already famous to that degree. You know what I mean? Like, other than that, it's all about how much you're going to actually put yourself out. That's going to determine the rest of that, taking those leaps, taking those bounds. Because that's not really a question that needs to be answered within the cards. That's more of just like your personal like actions that you're going to be taking moving forward. Because if your end goal is to be famous, you already have the blueprint inside of you. You're just needing to listen to your heart at that sense and move forward with that full path. Yeah, manipulation and gaslighting are not necessarily the same thing, but they're in the same, you can be gaslit and to be manipulated. So they're in the same category, but they're not like the same. They're on the same spectrum. But yeah, always just listen to your heart. Take the next steps. Take those leaps. You know, to be famous just means to be known at the end of the day. So if you're wanting to be known even more, take those risks. Go for podcasts, go for like radio shows, go for small interviews, things of that nature. Like, be able to wear yourself as you fully need to. Of course, Savvy. That's why we're here. We're here to help in any which way we can. Truly. I'm doing well. How are you? Oh man. I don't know why I'm yawning. Yeah, exactly what Daniel said. Some people just are not as living as they think they are, or as aware or attuned to things as they think they are. Then you will sense things that they can't. Yeah, I never got help from like doctor medication either. Because if they can't get to your brain, they'll get to your gut, and that's just about the same thing, you know? Like if they can fuck up your gut, then you won't be able to think right because the chemical balance, the chemical imbalance. Where did it go? Oh, it's right here. Wait, I already have this. Why do I need to do that? Yeah, some people need them. It's definitely weird because the only two like mental issues you can really have is a lack of a emotional awareness or a feeling awareness, or a lack of mental clarity. And after those two labels are there, those are like the two sides of the spectrum that everyone falls on. And yeah, you can ask a question. Where is it at? Where did it go? There it is. I found it. How Trevor? I don't know, and Tara won't be able to answer that for you either. Anyone that says that it will is lying to you. All Tarot's going to do is tell you the relationship between you and yourself. When you're really tapped in and know how to read tarot, that's what you'll pick up. So, I won't be able to help you with that, unfortunately. But congratulations on the child. Truly. Of course. No worries. But definitely just be honest and transparent with it. It can definitely be nerve-wracking. Um, but if any response is, deemed threatening or terrifying, just remove yourself from the situation, though it might be harder on you in the long run. Uh, well, yeah, in the long run, it'll be a lot easier for you overall. Well, will you get your inheritance back? I don't know. Tarot won't tell you that. And if you're watching tarot readings to find that, you're not going to find an answer ever and you're going to be lost. So I would highly advise you to not watch those videos because they're just lying to you and keeping you stuck in a cycle. Because your inheritance never leaves you. It's it's in you. So your inheritance, what they're talking about, is a physical thing to keep you trapped in a lower frequency. Your actual inheritance comes within and with your skills, your tools, and what you're able to do coming down here. We all have our own gifts and talents, and it's up to you to use those to receive what you're desiring. But people just don't know how to read tarot. They've fucking, I don't know where they've got it. I mean, it's from the Europeans. I know where they got it. It was, gypsies pulling this shit out their ass to keep the secrets hidden. And though they kept the secrets hidden for this long, it's definitely created a whirlpool that I don't think they fully... Well, maybe they did calculate it. I don't know. It might have been a calculated risk, but at the same time, it was more for the security of the truth. So, do you know that for sure, or are you just watching readings saying that? Because that follows the same category as what everyone's picking up on, which is not happening to everyone, and a lot of people end up just believing it. How much do you know about the Masons? Enough to go around it. Why? I don't know a lot about the Masons, but I know enough to give a clear direction of what they are. Yeah, dementia is terrifying. My mom was having Alzheimer's whenever she was passing away, which is really weird. Men's Club or Keepers of Esoteric Knowledge. Well, I mean, they teach you esotericism. Masonry in its own self is about building. And when you go to a Masonic temple, you're learning the tools that you need to walk life. So you're getting not only the tools of like what energy is and how that works, but you're also getting the tools of building teams, communicating, team building, and stuff of that nature. But more importantly, you're just getting the tools that you need to operate in this realm as a spiritual being having, no, as a human being having a spiritual experience. Well, that's what's going down with the Masons. It's nothing satanic. People who say that's a liar. There are satanic Masons, but Masonry itself is not satanic. And if you go to the female branch of Masons, which is the Eastern Stars, you're known as a child of Isis. So all they do is teach you basically. It's basically Egyptology, but like a group. And it's unfortunate because Egyptology is also a big fat lie when it gets down to the basis of it. But they just teach you the comedic arts of life, basically. Everyone wants to blame the Masons on stuff, and it's like, dude, why? Like, it's not the Masons, it's individuals. If you're gonna blame anything, you can blame the 13 people that went to the meeting with the bankings, and they said that they need to keep everything in a trust fund when it's not even funded or trusted. Or it could have been, the whole, what's that company called? It's black something. It's not gonna pop up, of course. It's black something. Black, not black box. Someone will know it. I can't remember. Yeah, Black Rock. Thank you. Jesus Christ. I can't. My brain's not working. But yeah, it's Black Rock. You know, you can blame well, not blame, but you can point your fingers towards Black Rock. You know, point your direction there. You know, those are the things that we need to be looking at, not just these stupid like little groups. Like those are the distractions. Everyone's like the Illuminati. Well, the Illuminati just means to illuminate. So the illuminate beings, the ones that know and can see, the light bearers, whatever you want to call them, right? It's like everyone's so distracted on them that they believe that, you know, everything has to be evil or something. It's like, no, like you're just distracted by the illusion. A lot of people are not tapped in. They might know the spiritual stuff, but they don't know what's going on this realm, which is, you know, you'll definitely see the ones that aren't like aware of what's going on. Goodbye. And then here comes Anna. Thank you for the donations. Thank you. Goodness gracious. I mean, I'll post that link again too. That's not what I wanted to post. I keep pasting the wrong thing. I need to wake up. That's what I need to do. That's what I gotta do. I felt it in my bones. I feel that. I know, yeah. I haven't been working on my tarot classes in a while. I gotta get back to doing that. I gotta get back to doing that. Yeah, they'll do that. It's like it's a community of weirdos that do that. They'll end up blackmailing you if they get video footage of you doing something stupid. And I know what I'm talking about when it comes down to that. People dead ass fucking do that shit. It's weird. Does everyone birthday have a set of tarot cards? No, not really. I mean, if you're gonna focus on like the esoterics of the card, maybe, but the esoterics are all westernized. So good luck. And if they're going off the astrology of it, then it's westernized 1000%. Because tarot cards, the major and minor arcana, are secrets of life, whether they're grand or lesser. You know. So it wouldn't really have anything to do with like a birthday unless someone's just assuming things or trying to put things together in that sense. Where did tarot come from? Egypt. Tarot is a way of life involving astrology, astronomy, numerology, and being connected to the true source, mother and father. Tarot cards are what hold the secrets of how to be able to walk that path of life. Tarot is a 78-page book that is unbound. As you know, it's not bound to anything. You can start at whatever page, but it's always going to tell you how to connect to yourself to achieve your destined path rather than walking in fate. It's not a way to really divine. The only thing you're going to find in tarot that's divine is mother and father. And how to connect back to them, you know. If you're wanting to talk to your ancestors through any sort of divination, use bones, use like Ifa divination, do something else other than tarot cards, because tarot cards aren't going to tell you anything except for how to connect to yourself and learn how to operate this body, this vessel, on a spiritual and physical matter rather than just one or the other. Well, the strength card isn't about a sphinx. The strength card is about you being able to control your rational mind. The limnus scat on top of her head here. Let me find the card, because that's a lion you're looking at, not a sphinx. I don't know where you're getting the sphinx from, unless you're talking about the chariot, which then even then that really wouldn't be it. No, but yeah, this is really just you using your feelings to fuel and to calm down your irrational self, so you're not jumping overboard. The animal is the beast, is the rational mind. Its tail is between itself, showing that it's docile. It's looking up and trusting the feminine, which is inside of you, the divine mother of the heart. I mean, if you're gonna go with esotericism, sure. But at the end of the day, no. Because the Sphinx isn't even a lion. The Sphinx statue is a Egyptian king, or Egyptian priest, excuse me. Egyptian pharaoh, or it's either the priest or a pharaoh. I can't fully remember, but it's one of the two. It has nothing to do with actually being a lion or an animal. But the strength card has nothing to do with that, with what you said. Because it's a lion. There's sphinxes in the tarot deck, and those represent divine force, or pyre, for lack of a better term. I mean, I doubt that. Where does the 19 come from? 19 doesn't have anything to really do with any of the tarot. What does 1999 have to do anything with tarot? I mean, you can link me to the source, but it has nothing to do with getting the tarot. Oh, well, I mean, you can keep the westernization. I'm good with that. I'd rather know truth than flips. Oh my god, who asked for a reading? I seen it. Yeah, sister, what are you looking for in the message? What are you looking for? I mean, People say that, but I doubt. You know, I've took a lot of recommendations from people to, you know, watch their stuff, and they're not really on it. Teach you something new, anything that comes out. What it's not going to do you any good if you're not going to have like a specific reason for why you're getting your reading. You know what I mean? So, and if you want to be taught something new, you know, what subject are you looking to be taught on? I can just tell you what. That's not really something tarot can help you with, you know. No. I don't think I got an email from you, Christina. But no, I don't have an opinion on tropical versus sidereal astrology. I can just let you know that westernized astrology is very incorrect on many levels. Right, but when things are created, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. That's the human error. So things can be created within a false light. Though it's been created, it's not actually true. But it still has the right to remain because the rational mind has its free will to move forward with that. But when you know truth, you don't have a reason for beliefs. Because a belief is knowing a lie. It's not knowing anything solid. It's too airy, it's too watery to be solid. Because a belief involves part of your rational mind, which is your ego in that sense. It involves a personal attachment to it, rather than just truth. In the shadow deck, yeah, where? Oh, it's right here in front of me. But yeah, I got you for the shadow deck. But yeah, I just don't watch many people because I watch so many like spiritualists and they're always talking about things that they're not really even sure about, but they're talking about it as if it's true. And it's different when someone has an experience, but like a lot of spiritual people are so westernized that they're not even actually being truly spiritual in that sense. They're not seeing what spirituality is. They're seeing like what an egoic version of spirituality is. Yeah, let me get you hidden. I can get you two cards. I'll pull the middle and the bottom. Making chicken soup? Hell yeah. For the soul, you know it. Alright, so first you have Sorcerer's Protection. Let me flip to the right number here. Sorcerer's Protection, which is heightened intelligence, inquisitive mind, knowledge and experience, protection from intellectual property. So with this first one, definitely with your shadow work, you've received the wisdom. There's some higher knowledge, some experience that you're gaining a more solidity on at this time. So your shadow work has been working in that sense. You are seeing things in a different light, and if you aren't seeing things in a different light, be sure to open up your mind to truly see that. And then we have Lucifer, which is Aries energy. So definitely something is starting up. Definitely watch out for feelings of pride, but as well as that, there is a fearlessness that's also kind of needed within this shadow work for you to see things within a deeper manner. Allow your feelings to move forward as they need to, but also just allow new knowledge, new wisdom to come in and soothe you in that sense. Really weird cards to come out for that. But definitely see the things that you've gone through, whatever you're going through within the shadow work, see them as marks of beauty rather than marks of imperfection. I'll say that. I feel like that was a good way. But like, just see things as the beauty of it, as in the making of your full character, in the development of the soul for you. If you're needing to do that, if you're struggling with like feelings of doing something wrong or being bad or anything of that nature. That's nice, Angel. That sounds nice. Yeah, anyone can ask for 2 card pulls. Well, you really have to ask yourself, what is evil in that sense? Are you determining evil from an outsider perspective or from your own internal moral compass? And that's what you need to really see with to break that programming. Because a lot of times you feel like you're something else because of an external view instead of an internal view. So really focusing on that, instead of the latter, will help you. Yeah, Toasty, you can. So I'll get you Toasty real quick. And also just understanding that there really is no evil unless you create it yourself. So to just erase the polarity of thinking in that sense, so that you're not feeling like something is evil, and just realizing that it's happening all for the greater good in that sense, it will help you as well. Because there is no good or bad. That's a rational way of being. That's an egoic way of thinking. And again, egoic is not like good or bad, but it is a view of the self rather than the view of actuality. But Toasty, your first card is the 4 Swords reverse. Needing to take rest. Some thoughts may be leading you down the path of feeling restless due to time or matter. Things might be taking a little bit longer, or you're wondering when things are going to start moving forward on something new, or however. But allowing yourself to rest and not letting certain thoughts betray you in that sense, because the crowning thought or the first full of feeling that you receive is being blurred up and distorted due to pressure from outside forces. And again, allowing yourself to use the fuel that you're receiving more wisely in that sense, by seeing the ideas, if ideas around you aren't working or you're feeling unstable about certain ideas, instead of, you know, panicking about that, really dive into it and see what the issue is, because if you're seeing the problem, the answer is also right there. You know what I mean? Got you, Toasty. No worries. No worries. Yeah, I'll get you. I'll get you for a general. Yeah, don't do things due to pressure. Do them because you truly desire and will receive a true benefit from it, rather than you know, instead of doing stuff because you're afraid if you don't you'll be punished. Because that's with bad intent. Allow yourself to do it whenever you feel the best about it. That's how you get the pure intents to move forward with plans, and, you know, putting forth that positive, not really positive, but optimistic energy. You know what I mean? But let's see. What's your general? Hi, Cynthia. So with the Two of Pentacles, there's definitely a balance that's needing to be seen. Moving forward, it might be a little bit shaky within your feelings, not sure which path to take, or not knowing if certain things are going to work out and move forward. So really grounding yourself at this time is a main goal. You're knowing how you're either knowing how success is going to be moving forward, but it's more of like, the further you walk down it, the more shaky the feelings get, and that's causing you to kind of walk back and forth, and it might choose a different path. So be very aware of that. At this time, allow yourself to be nurtured by the divine, by the pyre around you, by the forces that are moving you forward. The divine is already trying to enter your heart space, or already has entered your heart space, I should say. So really take time to focus in on that heart space, and move forward in that element, to choose the highest path for you, choose the correct path in that sense, because your heart holds the path that you're needing to walk down. So really take time for introspection, take time for meditation, and don't be afraid to follow your heart in this instance, and not necessarily your mind. Got you, no worries. No worries. Of course. That's what I'm here to do. It is what I'm here to do. Yeah, I'm glad you're here too, Daniel. That's definitely, you know, we all have our moments like that. Those are really our breakthrough moments. If you really think about it, it shows the new level, it shows the evolution, the actual ripping apart of the old, and the gluing together of the new. And thank you, Moran. I appreciate love that. I'm sure it's gigantic. Always. Every day you're awake is another day to choose. You know, it's nothing set in stone until that day. So every time you wake up, you have a chance to change something, a chance to do something different. Yeah, it is. Not really an aesthetic. I just I just enjoy wearing oversized shirts. It's not really like a look I'm going for. It's just something that I do. It's comfortable. Clothes shouldn't be were to be restrictive in that sense, you know? Yeah, I don't really do the whole like twin flame, soul flame thing. Like that's a journey for sure for people to go on, but it's just another ego trap where you end up labeling people and expecting them to play a role that they might not even be aware of or even want to follow at that sense. And even then, even though your soul connects with one individual, that doesn't mean the other individual's soul connects as well. You know what I mean? Like some puzzle pieces go together, but they're not the right two pieces. So, you know, sharing your story is always a good idea. I gotta fix this X right there. I mean, really, at the end of the day, you are your own twin flame. A lot of us are just so blind that we need to see it on the physical before anything can move forward, which isn't wrong or bad. It's just, you know, it's a humbling moment. How's it going? It's going well. How's it going over with you, Javette? I cannot complain. I cannot complain. Same. Hell yeah. Glad to hear that. Do I believe in star seeds? I don't believe in anything. I keep that system of the mind away. A belief is only going to cause confusion and speculation. If I don't know, I'm doing my research on it. What's the topic? We don't have one. Same as usual. But star seeds, I've had people tell me that they're star seeds, um, and the whole concept of a star seed is to be, you know, being born from the stars, right? Being an intergalactic being, or in the galactics in the space, right? um, you would eventually, with that logic of using the word seed, would be a flower at some point. You would have to evolve. Um, so I guess it's just another evolutionary path for people to take. Me personally, I don't really like. I get it. I just don't fully grasp it in the same way that other people do. Yeah, belief is just a thought you keep thinking. Well, I mean, again, even answer like, do I think star seeds are real? I've had people tell me that they're star seeds. I personally don't know if they're real. Um, Normally, the people that I meet that say that they're star seeds, they don't really have any other attribute that other people can also have. You know what I mean? They might say something, but I need to, you know, seeing isn't believing for me. It's knowing is is knowing. So it's just hard to tell with certain people, especially in today's age where everyone thinks that they're one, which could be plausible, you know what I mean, in the sense that we all, are from dust, return back to dust in a carbonated form, sure. Um, but it's important because if we're going to use these terms, they have actual true definitions based off the words that make them up, right? So it, I don't know. It's hard. It's not that it's hard to talk about. It's just I get down to the nitty gritty with it. Um, and a lot of people operate off of a westernized system. And if you didn't know, the westernized way of teaching esoterics and teaching knowledge basically tries to take multiple lifetimes of knowledge and wisdom and cramming it into like an hour-long session, which is physically impossible, mentally impossible. No man can do that. And it's just a really sloppy job of teaching the true arts of life. Yeah, like indigo and rainbow children, those are terms I'm more familiar with in the realm of like star seeds and stuff. Because when people say they're star seeds, they end up saying that they're from like Orion or the Sirius systems. But if you're from Sirius system, you're Assyrian. You know what I mean? Like you're Assyrian star seed. Well, if you're already in the galactics, if you're already from a star, you would already be a star seed. There wouldn't be a need to declare that. You know, it's like the children of the sun would also be star seeds because they came from a star. So in that sense, it's like, why would you say that you're a star seed if that's where that's already what you are. Like that's already origin. That doesn't need to be something that needs to be wore as a badge. That's a guiding point back home. You hyped up for the Switch 2 direct? Not really. If someone steals your life force, can you give it back? Um, I mean, yeah, you can. Your life force is yours. You can call it back if someone steals it from you. In the realm of how things work, you are your first and your last line of defense. It's about vocalizing what you desire. And if you feel like your life force is being stolen by someone, it's because you've allowed them to steal. So setting up that boundary between someone that is doing that is goal number one. So like if you feel like a certain individual is stealing your life force, just like remove them from your life. If you feel drained being around people, which is an energetic source, remove yourself from those individuals as well so you're not feeding into that trap. Because then after a while you end up latching onto people. Yeah, see, same here, Julian. Julie. I don't know. I called you Juliet. I am so sorry. Same thing here, Julia. I don't know why I called you. My apologies. But yeah, no, same thing here. Like I've heard, like I hear people call themselves starseeds, and I completely understand why. I'm not on that level anymore. I wanted to venture out a little bit deeper, but I remember past lives too. To that degree, it's definitely like again, like I've heard people say it, but again, like if we're gonna think about it in a true way, anyone who was born well, and first of all, you can't be born from out of this world because you're going to be born from this world. Anything made on the outside of the world can't really come into the world except for pyre, which is a force that isn't made in this world but yet interacts with the world in that sense, like angels and other beings are of this world. um Your astrology chart, your birth chart. I mean, you can say that, but not really, because all your astrology chart tells you is what you are being dictated by on the forces of this earth. It's just more of a psychological breakdown of how you operate based off of the two luminaries and the seven planetaries that rule this galaxy. So it's not really telling you your star seed or not. Because astrology is psychology. It literally tells you how you operate, and how you operate is a mental thing. What fuels that operation is a spiritual thing. So, you know, again, this is like westernized teachings blending in with actual solidified statements that have been back since the Sumerians. Yeah, that I didn't. I glanced down and seen that. I was like, yeah, it's whatever. I'm done with it. Yeah, there's a lot of native practices, like sweat boxes and stuff that you can go into and have those types of experiences. Definitely a transformative part of the self. I haven't checked out my draconian chart. And man, why y'all talking about draconians? I get it. Like, damn, spirit guides, I get it. I've been working with the dragons for a while. Um, and ever like they just been calling towards me like crazy. Yeah, if you can imagine it, it's possible. Like you can imagine like a pink elephant and then go to Google and type in pink elephant, go to images, and you'll find an image that corresponds with the image you see in your mind. That's literally how this realm works. So, if you're looking for a plan out of something, it's about training that mind to not be so fixated on what you don't want, but to know what you don't want and to be fixated on a solution. Soup is ready? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I did, I did hear the dragon. I never really delved into it that much on my part, unfortunately. Because at the time of that happening, I was more focused on another aspect of life. I was on a different journey for it. Well, your dreams are just reflection of what you experience on the 3D. And you know, when you're asleep in that realm, it's just a higher conscious state, so you're able to interact with it in that sense. When you're lucid dreaming, on the other hand, you're able to interact with it fully. And when you're astral traveling, even then. But your normal dreams are just you in a higher conscious state, experiencing things that you've gone through within the past 3 days, and it's a guidebook of how to solve those issues or to know where they root from. So if you get mad at someone, and then you have a dream about someone from your past who also made you mad, it's basically showing you what that individual triggered inside of you, which is probably that person's actions. Even if you two get along in the dream, their presence is a sign of showing you what occurred within your energy field within that time. But yeah, I got you. No worries. But really, dreams tell you about what happened in the previous past 3 days. That's not like a, you know, an assumption or something like made up. If you have a dream, it's going to be about something that happened within the past 3 days, even though it might remind you about something from the childhood or something that happened later or even in the future. It's something that correlated with the past 3 days of what went on. That's whenever the brain starts to delete things, and not really delete things, but put things in the background into the subconscious, which is why procrastination happens after every 4 days. After the fourth day, if you procrastinate, you'll end up not remembering to do it, and then you'll get the, oh shit, I should have done this, and that's how the brain cycles work. Could I touch on the socioeconomic status of the world? Uh, it's based off of the rational mind being so stuck in the masculine force rather than focusing on the feminine aspect. Because if you're going to talk about socioeconomics, that's about the social economics. So you as an individual acting in society, and everyone is moving towards this notion of we need to work, we need to put a lot of pressure on things to get things to move, which is not true. Putting too much pressure on something makes it backfire, makes it not work, it jams things, it creates blockages. It's the lack of femininity. Oh my god, fucking Nemo moment over here. Anyway, it's about the lack of feminine energies that are circulating within the self that keeps us in this like low financial state. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you. That's what's going on. I don't care if you're playing. I'm gonna answer it. You know, because the more you're like, oh, I have to work to earn more, but then you earn less, so then you work more. You're not even like focusing on that other aspect of you to truly receive, because money is supposed to nurture you and allow you to get things for yourself, right? Well, the fact there's a shortage of it means that there's an overload in the other department. Yeah, I'm gonna dive into it. Nah, seriously, that's what I'm like saying. Don't like, I don't play games. You ask me a question, I can answer it. I will go in. It could be a joke. It could be serious. I'm gonna have fun doing it regardless. Yeah, it's all love. It really is. Truly, it truly is. Go far for you. On what? How to get out of poverty? Well, that's a mindset. Being in poverty is something that you have to agree to. It's a label that's stapled on people, keeping them in that mindset. Um, if the physical world that you're in isn't supplying you, then dive within. If no jobs are hiring you, figure your talent out. Whether that talent is just scrapping or creating art or music or however, delve into that and then earn your fundings from that. In the age of Aquarius, the best way to earn money currently would to be getting it online, but make sure that you do have like a secured deposit somewhere. Um, as well. Don't just trust in crypto, because if a blackout happens and all your shit gets magnetized and poofed away, then what? You know what I mean? Like, even though we're in the age of Aquarius, and that's the age of technology, and people say of crypto, which crypto didn't fucking exist until, I think the 90s or some shit. So really watch out for that. Because even though it's technology that's expanding, it's technology that's going to be the first one to take the hit as well. Just, going with it. But General, I got you, Far Raven. I got you. Alright, so where's it at? In general, so first off, we have the Queen of Cups reverse. There needs to be a focus on the initial nurturing that's happening. It's like the instant feeling of something being nurtured may be a little bit nerve-wracking or unfamiliar, which is causing an unclear direction of what to trust, whether that's an internal thing or an external thing. Allowing yourself to see the nurturing comes from an internal standpoint rather than an external. So working with trusting that heart space, trusting yourself to move forward, clearing out the blockages within the third eye and heart chakras will help you move forward. And the Two of Cups, the reason why that's happening is because there's a disconnection between you and yourself. And that's what's needing to happen at this time, is you're needing to take your rational mind and walk towards that feminine aspect of you, so you can hear what the divine has to say say to you and receive to you. The Two Cups reverse, it's about using that funding incorrectly. It's about the masculine, the mind taking the funding from the feelings and creating thoughts to feed itself rather than thoughts to feed back into the divine, which would be the harmonious connection. Do I have native blood? Yeah, I have native blood. I have comedic blood. I have native blood. That's how it is. And of course, Draven, no worries. No worries. Yeah, I'm from the land. I got my roots. I'm connected to most of them. Like, I connected to my native roots when I was younger, and now I'm connecting more to my like Egyptian roots. Because I was doing rain dances when I was a child and stuff. I had like a native ceremony done on me, a whole like native cleansing. Um, it was, you know, I've had a very interesting life when it comes down to stuff. But yeah, I got you, Steven. Wait, what's been nonstop with people since yesterday? When am I gonna rain dance on stream? I gotta remember how to do it. It's been ages. It's been ages, like actually. I can remember myself. What's really weird about my memories is I'll be able to see them from a 3D standpoint. So I'm not even within my body when I see my memory. I'm outside of my body, which is really fucking hilarious to me. And I can remember myself doing it around the tree stump outside my house with my dad all the time. I don't remember the direct movements. If I can remember and I have time to go outside, I'll definitely do a rain dance. I don't have the attire or the outfit to do one in, but I can go outside and I can go outside and do it. I have like 2 videos out on my channel describing part of my life. And both of those videos do not go into grand enough detail to explain all the shit that I've gone through in my life. And it has nothing to do with the formation of like my spiritual journey and the traumas that I've gone through. It has a lot to do with my fucking just random ass experiences that's allowed me to know who I am on different degrees. If I ever wrote an autobiography, it would fucking be beyond. I would need to just talk about my life and then have someone write it down and then like do stuff with it in that sort of sense. You know what I mean? It would not be something I would do on my own. I would not be opposed to doing one though, cause like I need more help with my books, honestly. Um, in that sense of just like proofreading, making sure certain words are spelled correct and like grammar and whatnot. But other than that, like I don't know, because I want to get my books made into like PDF format and well, I mean, like sold on wider things rather than just from me, like on Amazon or something. Because it would be helpful. But yeah, let me get your reading, Stephen, before I forget. I'm scrolled up and looking at your chat, so I wouldn't forget it. But your first card is the Eight of Swords. If you feel blocked by your thoughts right now, that's not exactly the case. You're actually free to move. You may feel like you're in a sticky circumstance or that things are kind of blocking you in, but you're not. This is a test of perseverance, a test of strength within the mental psyche, and seeing if you're able to move past an obstacle that might have held you back in the past. Whether this is a feelings or a shadow work, a thought barrier, a physical barrier, however, there's a clear path for you. You need to allow yourself to see it by unbinding yourself from these thoughts. With the Nine of Swords reverse, even allowing yourself to get more rest, switching from an I can't to an I can mentality, even if you don't fully believe it or can see the path, just say and know that you can make it through. So you'll be more susceptible and able to see that path within future areas. Got you, Stephen. No worries. But yeah, I used to write books when I was a child. I had a Wattpad. I'm not telling anyone what it was. For a very good reason. It is a part of my life that was very, very particular, and I'll leave it like that. Because I wrote about very depressing, weird topics. I did, however, get nominated for Wattpad awards, and I think I got an award for one of the books, but I never finished it. I don't know how. I think it was like rated 500 something on the Wattpads or something. That was back in like what, 2016, 17 something though? I don't know. Definitely. I don't know why, but I've been really feeling called to do fire breath a lot recently. And I've done it before. I just feel I've just been getting these urges to do that more. Damn, can this lightning stop? Oh my god, every time it happens I feel it. Like every time the lightning has struck, there's been a pounding of energy hitting my chest. So something's going on outside with the weather. And it's just got me thinking now. Is that related with dragons? It's kinda. Some, I mean, I guess I don't know. I haven't. I don't know if it does for sure or not, but I can see how. But fire breath is like a very controlled but restrictive breathing method that really helps you focus more in clearing the centers. It will make you very lightheaded though. Not sure I make things happen for you. Oh, okay. So let me think, because I've been in situations like that too. It may be a time for you to do do those prayers for yourself, and if you are doing those prayers for yourself, take more physical action, because a lot of times we're in periods where we need to do spiritual actions for others, but physical actions for ourselves, and then vice versa. And then other times we're needing to do all spiritual actions and all physical actions, right? It's all split up with different time frames that we're in. So if you're doing things on the physical and nothing's moving, do things in the spiritual for you rather than others, because it might be draining the source of your spiritual bucket that you have, or spiritual energy level that you have, to work for yourself rather than working on others. Above all, just ask for signs to really see what you need to do moving forward. Because sometimes your guides are blocking you because you don't have something fully marked down. It's like a protection notice. Thor. I mean, I don't resonate with the Greek at all. So I mean, you know what I mean. I'm not one to listen to follow the Greek gods and stuff. I mean, if they reach out, sure. I've had a few of them reach out, but I personally don't go out and contact them. I stick with my bloodline. I mean, the storm's not really an issue. I just want to know what I'm supposed to do, because it's directly affecting me. So there's something that I have to do. It's something that's moving inside me. So, man, it's like I don't really want to say that, because I don't wish that. Norris, I mean, same kind of category of it, in a sense. They've been all messed up ever since the Lower Egyptian raid. Yeah, the best way to know what to do is just diving into yourself and asking yourself. Even just saying the words like, for your ancestors or whatever God you believe in to use you in that sense. And then you automatically end up walking that path, you know what I mean? Yeah, because the Greek is just ripped off Egyptian. That's why I'm saying that. They took Sumerian gods, they took the Egyptians, the native gods, the African gods, and then like whitewash them, which has nothing to do with race, by the way. Whitewashing means to wash something completely clear and clean so it can be written over. So it's a lot of it's been like bleached and stuff in that sense. You're not hip on the lower Egyptian raids? The Bible, basically. The entirety of like the Old Testament and some of the New Testament is like the lower Egyptian raids. Basically, if you want to get down to it. Like the whole thing of Moses, Aaron, and the Pharaoh, that was a lower Egyptian thing. With the Red Sea splitting and the Ark of the Covenant being stolen, that was another thing with the lower Egyptians, and that was with the Romans, and then the Knights Templar came back later and did it again. Always, if you're gonna read the Bible, start from the start. Don't jump chapters all the time. You know, sometimes reading a chapter for a moment is good just to grasp that information, but it's important to read things beginning to end so that you kind of grasp how it's being placed together, and then you can put the pieces back, you know, in its proper spaces later. Because some of the Bible's written in the Bronze Ages, some of the Bible's written in the Stone Ages, and then some of it's in the like the Neolithic. Is that how you say it? It's the Neo Age of where they're having like wheat and stuff because of Osiris and them. But well, whatever's go. I mean, shit. I guess I'm the mirror that's soaking it up, Toasty. Because I'm fucking every. I'm not joking. Every time the lightning strikes, I get a flash of like heat, and it starts from the heart chakra, and then it spreads up, and then spreads down to the sacral. It doesn't go to the root, and it doesn't go to the crown, but it's getting all the rest of them, which is interesting. And it's really funny. I think the weirdest thing about me that I've like learned to just kind of live with is I have not read the Egyptian Book of the Dead, but I know about it. Like it's just ingrained in me. So that definitely tells me more of like the Egyptian bloodline part of me than it needs to. Because I've been around like people like, "Oh, I have the Egyptian Book of the Dead." I've never read it. I just know about it. It's one of those things that's like in my DNA or something. See, that's what I'm wondering too, Toasty. That's why I'm thinking about it. Like, it's in the back of my head. This is what I like about my fucking triple air sign self. I can just split up and like have part of me do one thing and the other half of me do another at the same time. But it's also a double-edged sword because then it'll like, fuck it, I'll get brain jumbled. Lightning in a bottle is fucking terrifying. Not like the toy, but like the fucking the chemical slash magical attributes of that is fucking terrifying. Depending on where, well, no matter what you're using for, it's a lot of energy. Yeah, oh, I know I'm one of Ra's kin. I am one who is here on a damn sure mission. Even like I don't know. My mentor, who's highly regarded in what he does, was very confused of why he was telling me half the information that he knew. And I've got that my entire fucking life. It's like, I don't know why I'm telling you this like top secret thing, quote unquote top secret high mysticism, really. But here I'm telling you it, and I just sit there and soak it up. I'm just it is what I do. I mean, it also probably helps to have tattoos of Anubis and the Ankh on me because tattoos is blood magic and that gets you connected to the symbolisms, and with it being on the left side of my body, obviously there's something going on with the past life with the Egyptians that I'm here to complete. I know I have something to do with Atlantis. Um, I remember a lot about Atlantis actually. And by a lot, I mean bits and pieces. A lot of bits and pieces. Nothing's like put together fully, but I've talked to people who have past lives in Atlantis, and I've it's really interesting. Do you resonate with Ra? Yeah, I've been called Ra before. Someone asked me like months ago if I was one of the 24 elders. I highly resonate with Anubis. I've literally like Anubis has been with me ever since I was a fucking child, guiding me through shit. The crystal gem spheres, yeah. You know what's funny about the crystal gem spheres? What the fuck are they called? Those charged like crystal balls that you can buy that usually have like the Eye of Ra or that other symbol on it. Those are basically miniature creations of what the crystal gems of Atlantis would do. The orbs and shit you see on top of wands that people use is another hint towards that as well. Like if you see people with like a ruby tip of a wand, it's a hint towards the actual powering rods of Atlantis that they had. Yeah, Anubis can be a little annoying, but I can't hate him. I've done a lot of work with Anubis, and it's the shit that he had me do was really weird. Not weird, but it was very draining. Because I had to transfer a lot of souls to Earth, and doing that is not a fun experience because you have to hear their traumas, you have to rid them of their traumas, and then send them on their path. Sending them on their path is the easy part. You just open the door, you open the portal for them. Hearing their traumatic way of passing and taking that on to transmute that for them is rough, because it takes two to do that. There needs to be a vessel occupied. Which is kind of why it's important for us to do shadow work, because we're not just doing it for ourselves, but for the souls and the invisible and the pyre that's around us in sources. It's a lot. What is going on? You lit the whole sky up like a light bulb. What's going on? Tell me. I'm curious now. I have papyrus. I have authentic papyrus paper and a reed pen. I need to get more ink though for the reed pen, and I need to get a new reed pen as well because the one I have is not lasting anymore. But I used to have a lot of Egyptian stuff when I was a child, but then my sister threw it all away because my sister didn't want me finding out about my path, which is fine. It was just my cousin wanted to do the same shit that I do, and it's like, if you're not destined for it, you're not destined for it. You can do whatever you want to stop something, but, if your creator says, no, you're doing this, and you're fucking doing it, That's what you just have to remember and truly stand by. Yeah, it is. It is raining hard. Oh shit, that's sick. I want to grow my own, honestly. I would love to start like my own, like, I don't know. I want to start selling shit. I really do. I just don't know what I want to sell yet. I mean, I know I have shit I can sell. I want to make pendants. That's what I really want to do. I want to make pendants of sigils that I have. Because they would go fucking crazy. We need the Egyptian card pulls. I don't know where that deck is. It's somewhere in my suitcase. Yeah, the Egyptian culture is definitely something you don't choose to do. It is something that is disposed upon you. And it's like, the thing about it is the way the Egyptian, like, bloodline works and the whole, like, court system with them works is, if you have any Egyptian bloodline, you're mainly you're basically under like Egyptian law. It doesn't matter how much of other things you do, you're gonna be more tied to that bloodline. And yeah, I know about the Ankh. I literally have it on me. There's so much about the Ankh. That's the position of giving birth. That is the balance. That is the uterus. That is the feminine. combining with the masculine. It is wisdom in itself. It is the soul. It is life. It is a bulb. It is really all. It's also a staff. It's an alchemical symbol. There's so much about it. Nah, see, that's the thing. Like, here, hold on. I have this one sigil that I'm kind of like testing and shit. Here, I would just flip the camera around. Imagine that on like a fucking like gym, like any gym at all. Like I'm working out the kinks of it and stuff, but having that shit on you know pendants and shit, that would be nuts. Like the amount of fun that I would have getting a engraving pin. That's what I need. Listen, I make sigils. That's what I'm supposed to do. I that's just one that's one of the things I'm supposed to do. Because the way I make sigils is like divine led. I was told to just make sigils this way, and ever since it's been evolving. Getting this sigil as a tattoo would be kind of nuts. It really would be. It's a very interesting one. It's using it's using some really powerful sigils of one of them is deflecting energy back to others, and the other two are like for success and ideas. And then we're using three I mean three genius spirits. We have in the middle that one with the cross in the middle. That is an omnipotent angel sigil, and then the Hebrew, and then the Enochian on the outsider ring. There's just so much. I don't know. I'm bizarre with it. Not really. The sigil is always going to be infused with the energy, so as long as you aren't poisoning yourself, and the best way to do that is with the pain from the tattoo. If you feel pain when getting a tattoo, is to transmute that to a protection, not to ignore the pain, but to infuse it within the sigil to make it more powerful. In that sense, it all depends, because it can definitely backfire on you if you end up thinking that the sigil's poopy and it's not going to do anything for you. It becomes more of a hindrance on your skin because it's always on you. But definitely, yeah, do what Toast you said heavily. Just test with a temporary tattoo. Draw it on your skin with ink or something. And if it works like that, then you can get it fully tattooed. But there's certain sigils, you know, like not even there's seals, excuse me. There's seals that people get in honor of like whatever god or goddess that they follow. Yeah, because I mean, it's all energy. You can transmute it. Sigils are powered by whatever energy. So it doesn't matter if someone sends a sigil good energy or bad energy. If they say, oh, it's ugly or whatever, it charges it with it. And as long as you are in control of your intention with the sigil, everything's fine. You know what I mean? Like Pinterest and stuff, their sigils are crazy. Some people would go on Pinterest and use their sigils for bad, or however, you know, however they fucking use it, doesn't matter. But that energy is infused, that belief or that knowing of the sigil working is still infused into it, so it adds to the power. The one, goodness. And thank you, Melanie, for the gifted membership. I appreciate love that. Damn. You know, we have the eclipse and it's storming, so I guess it's getting whatever the fuck's in the energy is getting pushed away. I don't know. Um, the Egyptians would enchant stuff as well with ink and carvings, because that's been a thing forever. Enchanting stuff like that. Am I still doing pulls? Yeah, I'm still doing pulls. Really, you just ask for a pull, and I'll most likely do it. Um, Whenever we just start talking about random shit, we're just talking, you know. If you feel like needing a pull, it's okay. You have a shadow deck question? I got you. I have a funny constellation birthmark, but it's on my belt line, so I can't. It's like on my underbelly, so I can't show it. But it's literally a constellation. I know I'm from the Orions. I know that for a fact. I've been told, I've had experiences. And I also have a connection to the angels of Saturn. I found that out when I was a child, when I died for the first time. It's such a weird thing to say. I love saying it though. When I died for the first time as a child, when I was like 5 or 6 or something, I cracked my forehead open, and I distinctly remember seeing 6 angels while on Saturn surrounding me in all white. I could not see their faces, and they were like, "You can go back down if you want, or you could just stay here." And I said, "I'm gonna go back down," so I went back down. Which constellation? I'm not sure of that yet. It's changed. That sounds bizarre to say, but it's changed. Some of the dots aren't in the same position anymore, so I have to go back and check my constellations. But it's one of the ones near Orion. Yeah, bro, to forget the afterlife. Oh yeah, the stars are gonna be on us. That is the thing. Okay, hold on. What's your question for the shadow deck, Saint? Before I forget. I mean, it all depends. I know it really depends. Oh shit, yeah, and Tiana, you want to run from the? Did you want to run from the shadow as well, Tiana? I just now seen yours. Sorry. Or are you wanting yours from the tarot? Yeah, the 7 sisters. What's really funny is about, I'd say 9 months ago or 10 months ago, I had a lot of the 7 sisters energy around me, and then they just disappeared one day. So whatever they were trying to convey to me, I have it somewhere. I'm just not conscious of it just yet. No, the constellation does not look like a question mark. I have to go look at it some more. Yeah, it's a decently sized constellation. We need to know in general what to work on. I got you. So let's see here. Damn. It's just going crazy outside. Alright. So we have 2 black candles, which is 49. 48, 49. I passed it up. Silly me. So your first card is Black Candles, which is excessive ambition, readiness to cooperate with forces, pursuing a dark path, achievement of goals by any cost, efficiency, developed sense of intuition, and great potential. So right now you're on the right path with moving forward. Be careful of trying to take cheap routes, or being in an energy of wanting to speed things up, trying to take an easier route, falling for certain types of distractions. In that sense. But your second card is Peonies. If I can flip to it, because it's not that far behind. Here it is. Which is recovery, matrimony, and union, professional success, a long way to victory, good health, and emotional reward. So again, you're moving forward in the correct way. Just be sure not to get too comfortable within how smooth the path is going, in the sense of if a bump pops up, that you would choose a force that's not going to lead you down the right way. You know what I mean? No, you can ask to do that, Saint. That's perfectly fine. You can do one shadow card, one tarot card. That's fine. What are you wanting it on, though? And I can get you. Oh, I can get you, no worries, no issue. Unless you already said it. No, you didn't. Okay. I'm blind. But yeah, we can do one of each. You did? Oh, shit. Where's it at? Where's it at? Because I don't see it anywhere. I don't know. It might be, because if you typed it again, it didn't pop up on my end. So I'm not really sure. And welcome in, everyone. If you're wondering what they wanted to tell you, tarot cards would not help you in that sense. Yeah, I'm seeing your comments now. They're popping up. But if you're wondering about this answer from the shadow deck and the tarot deck, that's not really what's going to help you in that sense. That would require a different type of divination, and I don't have the means of doing that just yet. Whenever I get my bone reading kit, everything is going to be able to move so smoothly. But until then, I'm kind of just stuck with the tarot cards and how they have divination. Well, it's the fact that I can't pick up on things like that anymore. After learning the truth of how tarot is, I don't want to dirty the art form anymore. So I don't read the cards in that sense, as it's not a pure way. It's not how they're supposed to be used in that sense. Because they only tell you about what's happening with yourself in that sense of with tarot cards. Even oracle cards in that sense is between you and your connection to that divine energy. Neither of those would help in that sense. For the best form of divination for that, let me think the best form of divination for that, because there's what are they called? What the fuck are they called? I can't remember what they're called, but the shell divination, you can do it's a form of Ifa, I know that, but you can do the shell divination for that. Bone readings would help with that. Really, what you could do is do a deep meditation as well to find the truth of that, delving deeper inside yourself. There's sigils you can use. I have a few sigils that could help with that as well. But in the sense of using the tarot cards in that sense, they wouldn't really give that answer. I just don't want to read the cards in an impure way, because I'm really trying to work with getting tarot back with its true art form instead of being dirtied by past actions. To get the truth out is definitely something. Yeah, email me, and I can send you those sigils. There's a few of them, and they're super easy to use. But I can send you a few of them. One of them, I'll send you one that has like a little ritual to do. They don't cost any money to do the ritual, by the way. But I'll send you like 3 or 4 of them to help you with that. Got you, Saint. No worries. This is what I do. I kind of I had to stop the sigil stuff on the channel. Because I'm forming new sigils and I need time to make these sigils. They're gonna take a while to make. At least get the hang of making them. I've noticed, because I've made 3 sigils so far in a newer style, and they are very taxing to make, but they are very, very efficient. They are charged very, very well, but they're fun to make. Have I gotten into layered sigils yet? Layered as in how? Because most of my sigils are very layered, in the sense of they use multiple factions and not just one. Like, I'll usually use 2 or 3 languages in them, depending if I need whatever angel I'm calling on for support. And most angels I call on are made in pairs of 3. Yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. I'm working on with the server that I'm having with the egregore stuff. I'm working on connecting a bunch of sigils together, uh, to operate as like a chain around, and like almost as a locking barrier for stuff. I'm not going to get into too much detail about that right now because it's still being planned. But I'm getting into interchain sigils heavily right now. Basically, the sigil that I shown, it's not the one we're using. It's just what I'm making to test and to see, and seeing if I need to make anything different with it. But it's basically going to be 3 full versions of those interlocked, but the full version is going to be a lot. But yeah, for sure, Zane, for sure. For sure. I completely get it, because when sigil stuff is crazy. When you delve into the whole art of sigil making, it gets bizarre. Like, I've done planetary sigils, I've done angel sigils, I've done all sorts of shit. So once it gets to a certain point, yeah, anyone can make a sigil. Sigils are easy to make. Sigils are just magical symbols, if you're gonna get real with it. Because sigils don't need the circle around them. Those are for specific sigils. There's summoning sigils. There's entrapping sigils. There's seals, which are technically sigils. There's pendants that are also technically sigils. There's the letter method, the numerical method. There's all sorts of ways you can make sigils. Exactly same. One of the sigils I have works very well with the mind. Like, that's why, like, on sigils, you'll see some of them will have like one thin black line and one big black line, or some will have the 2 thin black lines and the 1 big black line. Those are tricks to get the mind to focus so that the symbology, and language is encoded into your subconscious rather than just your conscious. And then from there on, you can add optical illusions within the background of your sigils to create more of a focus and more of an imprint on your conscious being. Yeah, barcodes in themselves is basically a sigil. It's a mark of the beast if we're gonna talk about it, but that's only if we're gonna talk about it. But sigils can be very super easy, or they can get very complicated very quickly, and it's all important. It's all very important to know how things move. How do you charge sigils? Intention. Sometimes you can charge it by simply just saying I'm giving it this energy. Focusing on the sigil works with it. Um, no, seriously, that's this thing, Saint. Like a lot of people talk about this shit, but I've walked the path. And I love doing this shit. I've experimented with it. I've had backfires happen to me. I fucked up a lot of times doing stuff, and I've had very wonderful, abundant experiences with sigils as well. It's super important to walk down the path. Um, and if someone, like, even if you're going to be a teaching or just trying to learn with it, it's super important. And of course, Jasmine, you can have a card pull. What are you wanting the cards pulled on? I got you. I keep it real. I don't know. Sometimes I have memory issues, you know what I mean? So I can't remember everything on the top of my head. But at the end of the day, I've walked the path, and if you ask me, it's probably the next day I'll remember it like it never happened. Yeah, because I have, like, even then, you can see the type of sigils I used to make. Um, well, I mean, you can't really. It's on the community tab. But on my website, I'm gonna start posting like examples of my sigils and stuff. Because I finally upgraded my shop, so I have more of my services up there, and I can add up to 5 photos. So I'm gonna start doing that. And I got you, Jasmine. Struggle in visualizing things and my being issues. Have you tried any herbs like lavender, um, or like mug root, lion's mane mushroom even? Like, sometimes I take these, right? It's just lion mane mushroom pills. And they help with focus, they help with like memory and things of that nature. So try that out. Um, Other than that, ADD comes from a nervous system overload. So working on relaxing your nervous system, so certain frequencies will help you relax with certain frequencies can help with relaxing your nervous system, as well as like cutting back on stimulants. Um, but definitely doing that, like, that'll help. And let me get to your reading, Jasmine. And sure, Zion, what are you wanting a reading on? I can get you. So let's see here. Let me split this into like 3 piles. It's fine. But yeah, now scissors are not easy. They are not difficult to make. It just depends on what you're going for. Because they can be some of the simplest things ever, or they can be so complex and bizarre. Um, but with your reading, Jasmine, you have the Queen of Swords upright. So there's this immediate thought that you're having when it comes to love that needs to be nurtured, whether a sense of wanting it to come towards you, or desiring a specific person. Remembering that the flesh isn't what you're wanting; it's the actions, it's the energy, it's the transactions that you're desiring. So, clearing your mind, allowing your thoughts of what you're desiring within a relationship to nurture you at this time is definitely what you're desiring. No matter what this love is coming in as, or how it's going to come in with. Um, So really focus on that aspect of self where you're seeing the thoughts that are being generated when the term love comes to mind, what you're desiring. Don't worry. So I mean, worry. Get the flesh as much as you need to, but let the main outcome be the actions of the receptivity that's coming towards you. And we have the Queen of Cups reverse. Again, this is what needs to be nurturing you at this time. The thoughts that you're having aren't being seen from that spiritual, from that feminine aspect. It might be being seen from a more physical aspect, not meaning just like appearance, but almost a scenario that has to play back. So let yourself be nurtured by the feeling state that you're desiring for love. So do things that generate that feeling more to gravitate more onto it. Um, that's what's going on with this love, is really getting that balance of the feeling state, because you know what you're desiring. It's more now about feeling what you desire. Yeah, Zion. Yeah, there's definite ways to go around it. The only reason why I showed that one sigil is because it has an immediate deflector in it. So any energy that's not gonna help it is not gonna be sent to it, which is really funny. Um, but yeah, it's I always usually add like a protective measure to my sigils. I have a whole operation with mine. Um, oh goodness. Well, you're not. Let me just free your mind, Zion. The whole general thing where people are like, "Oh, your family's doing this to you," that's a big bunch of lies. You're buying into an energy siphoning ring, basically, of a bunch of people who don't know what they're saying or doing, feeding off of other people and getting money from them. So I can't tell you about what's going on with the entire tarot scene that has an inheritance issue. It's more of an issue with their learning how to trust themselves and walk their own path instead of taking advice from an individual online who doesn't know their art form as well as they can. So don't buy into the whole thing of that situation. Free your mind from that and escape that matrix, because you'll be running around in circles until the day you die and you'll be wondering what the fuck you've done. But in general, I can definitely get you. So be very careful of that whole wormhole. I don't do readings on stuff like that. Tarot's not like a tool to be read on it as an external manner. Tarot is a tool to learn about the connectivity between you and yourself and how to walk back to mother, to the true divine nature of self. Yeah, I can send the reflector one. Its sigil is very interesting. So I can send you that one by itself. That's what I'm here to do, is teach. I'm here learning the same thing with y'all. Um, there's not a single day that goes by that I'm not trying to learn from. Even days where I don't do anything, I'm always like, so what did I like learn today about relaxing? What did I learn about the shifting of myself into one form into another for that time being? I don't know. I'm gonna. Where we at? Oh, we're right there. That's where we're at. And we'll come back. We'll come back. Also, if I don't reply to your email tonight, I'll reply to it tomorrow. It depends on like when I fall asleep and whatnot. Oh, well, never mind. You already emailed me, so I can definitely reply to it after. Damn. What is going on with the weather? I'm gonna go check up on that. What is today? Sunday. That's what it is. Okay. Wait. Oh, what the fuck? That's on AM? Bro, it's okay. The time's right. It's just at the wrong time of. Oh god, that's hilarious. Yeah, my laptop's time is on AM, so it's still Sunday for my laptop, but it's Monday. And I was like, why does it say that it's Sunday still? Yeah, we're in Monday now. I don't know. It's an April Fool's prank. I'm not even gonna say it like that. That's gross. Fuck April Fools. But my laptop's pranking me. Do I pull cards today? Yep. As long as it's in the title, I'm doing it. As long as it's in the title, I'm doing it. And of course you can. What are you wanting it on? And I can get you. Yeah. What do you want it on? And I'll get you. I need to know what you need the reading on. Or, you know, I can't really do one. But I got you. Oh, Lord. Rainy days and Mondays, yeah. Rated yours? I don't. That's. I mean, what you're wanting a reading on doesn't apply with tarot, so I can't really do a reading on it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. I don't lie to people whenever I do my readings. I'm very honest and truthful, and reading tarot on those situations does nothing but lie to the individual. They get them stuck in a trap. So I'm not gonna do that unless I get like an actual reason to do the reading. I can get a reading on why you believe that's happening to you and why you think that's like a restraint for you to move forward with your dreams and goals, but other than that, I can't do a reading on it. You know what I mean? because I'm not like the rest. I don't lie when I do my readings, unfortunately. Certain things might be right, but it's also due to an egoic standpoint of both parties. But yeah, let me get yours, Melanie, and I can jump in. I mean, Xeon, again, like, that's not what tarot is used for, so I'm not gonna read about it. Unless you have like an actual thing for me to read on, I'm okay. Because everything in reality comes from you. So you have to really understand what in you allowed those things to happen in that sense. Why did you give your power away in those situations to allow them to transcend? And that's the only thing that tarot can help you really realize, but people are so stuck in the egoic manner of reading that it's not going to, they're not going to ever touch on it because they're not actually tapped in, they're very tapped out. I mean, nothing's hidden unless it's, done to your own like negligence of knowing. The big secret is there's no secret. Nothing's hidden. It's a lack of knowledge on one's behalf that holds it. You can't blame it on anyone else. That's like an egoic mindset, which, tarot can help you remove that from, but, I'm not gonna gratify an ego state of being. But let me get these readings real quick. Where's it? No, because that's not what tarot is used for. Seashells, that's not at all what tarot is used for, so no, I can't tell you any of that. And if you're wanting them to message you, you might as well message them. You know what I mean? Yes, close out. What the heck? Oh, wait, hold on. Cancel. Why don't we open? You can find out with tarot why you're so, why your mind is so captivated on another individual and what their actions are towards you, rather than asking those questions yourself in that sort of way, but figuring out what they're doing, not something you can do. You can watch those readings all day long, but they're not gonna help you. I'll just let you know right now. You'll be stuck in an egoic loop, and you'll be blinded. You're not gonna see true light. Because what you're close to breaking to is, and I'll just crack the show for you early, and if you want to take it, you can, and if not, you'll figure it out later. What you're figuring out and trying to figure out is the fact that you're so stuck in a scapegoating way, because that's the way every person's been programmed, that you are not seeing the truth of what you're doing. You don't know what ego is, so and no, I haven't got to any reading yet. I'm still explaining to Z on something real quick, so give me a second on the reading. But you can't take away your ego. That's not a thing. So you need to really see what the truth is, rather than believing all these lies, because you love being in the loop. So, I mean, that kind of describes what you want. Ego is self. The whole concept of ego is you. The word ego means I. You are ego. Your flesh, your rational mind gives ego permission. So you being stuck in this loop is your own fault, and your ego is literally allowing you to stay into it because you're feeding your ego. You don't want to break your ego. You want to train your ego to be more of a working for you rather than working against you. Because you said that you're trying to get rid of ego. You can't take yourself away. You're always going to be yourself. That's something that can't move. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna just tell you right now, you don't know how to read because that's the correct answer. You reading on other people is not how you read at all. Unfortunately, you don't know what tarot is, and you're just reading the way other people online are reading because that's the closest thing that you've got to something that gratifies your own way of being for your own situational purposes, to gratify your own rational mindset pathway that you're on, instead of actually trying to dive in towards truth. Because if you were a true witch, you wouldn't be in this situation. You know what I mean? If you were truly all you said you were, you wouldn't be stuck in this situation and you wouldn't need cards to help you out either. You know what I mean? So you're just allowing these labels that you think that you are, and you're attaching yourself to them so strongly that you're being blindsided by what's actually happening around you and in your life. So, but you're looking at an actual tarot reader that knows what tarot is and knows what tarot cards are. So, I'm not like the rest of these fakes. So, I'm just gonna let you know that you have been feeding a lie for a while, unfortunately. But yeah, let me get on Melanie's reading, and then let me get on the other person's reading, and I'll move forward with that. So first, Melanie, your first card is the Knight of Wands reverse. This is saying that there is an idea that's unable to move forward within your path. There is a funding that isn't being used correctly, and that's kind of what your shadow work is trying to show you at this time, is that the fuel that you're receiving, the fuel that you have been given, isn't and hasn't been used in the correct foundation. It's been used in a way to keep you stalled or holding you back in that sort of position. So really seeing that and moving forward, giving yourself more of a rested position with the Four of Swords reverse even as well. It's showing you the thoughts that are keeping you from moving in a straight formation. It's showing you the thoughts, the beings of life that you had that keeps you from following the crowned thought and leaves you sabotaging yourself and hurting yourself and putting yourself in that emotional state, to where you end up manifesting fate rather than destiny. So that's what the shadow work is showing you and trying to move you for. What are you talking about? Read the books. Xeon, you don't know who you're talking to, buddy. That's okay. I'm here to help the truth of tarot spread, buddy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's no hyphen in your name. So I'm saying it the way you spelt it. If you don't like that, you should probably spell it the other way then. I'm just letting you know. But you're looking at someone who speaks nothing but truth when it comes down to tarot, dude. Yeah, Xeon. And I mean, you can keep it that way if you want, but that's, you should probably release that attachment to it being said the wrong way. Because it's only wrong to you, because of your own perspective and your own rational grasp onto it. That's not really a me thing. That's a you thing that you got to work with, buddy. It's out of my control. Yeah, let me get to your reading, Marina. Let me scroll up. Oh, well, your reading is, again, like, you can't pick up on other people when it comes down to tarot again, so I can't really read up on what that is, because that's not how you read tarot. So It's not disrespect. It's disrespect to you because your rational mind is so stuck on things not being your way that it becomes an insult, which is your fault and not mine. If you don't want it to be an insult or disrespectful, then you should switch that mentality of yourself. You know what I mean? So that's something you have to work on. That's not has nothing to do with me. How can you release the feeling it gives me? I got you. Why did I change the name? I just felt I just needed to. I just felt like doing it, so I did. It was time. Things change in life. Nothing should stay stagnant. Nothing does stay stagnant. Yeah. Because I and E are derivatives of Y, which is still E in different languages. Now, I've talked about the ego multiple times. These subjects aren't studied correctly. It's like the law. I'm gonna have to make one about karma here soon and like correct that up because people think karma is something that if you do something bad to me, it happens to you. No, that's not karma. That's something totally different. Alan Watts, no thank you. I don't need to listen to Alan Watts. I'm okay. I could, but I'm gonna refuse to. I don't need anyone to tell me about ego. I know all about it, truly. Because it's something that I live through daily. And it's something I watch and consume daily within self. So let me get this reading for you, though. How can you release that feeling? How can you have more of a concentration on self? So the first card is the Full Reverse. So these feelings of being held back really comes from a hyper focus of something that's keeping you from moving on. So switching how and what you're focusing on, shifting what you're diving into, is going to shift why things are affecting you in that way. You may be putting yourself in the shoes of other people as well and feeling their feelings for them, which is keeping you in such a strong pull towards the treatment of everything. So really allowing yourself to detach yourself at this time, not to dive fully in is what's going to help you. With the Wheel of Fortune upright, it's also saying it's trying to get you to see the brighter side. There's something that's upright. There's a lesson that you've already learned. There's like a repetition that's happening. But as well as with the solution that you're wanting is going to require you not to jump into it. So setting up stronger boundaries, allowing yourself to remain on a higher pedestal in a sense. But that's what you're needing to do for yours. Oh my God, where's your name at? Marina. Is really not diving so much into it, learning to set those emotional boundaries, learning to not indulge in things that are upsetting in you, in yourself, to free yourself from that past attachment is really the help that is going to come along with things. Isn't that ego because you're always learning? Depends on what you mean by that. Oh, that's weird. Well, set a boundary when you're met with something that doesn't align with what you're doing. Swords has nothing to do with words, by the way. I'm going to point that out real quick. Anyway, set the boundary to disassociating with those types of people so you're not stuck with it. And to jump back to using on the swords has to do with the rational mind, with the thought forms of you, not words. So you did yet. What are the four realms of tarot? The four realms of tarot is wands, water, air, and earth. No, tarot isn't about divination, dude. Tarot is has nothing to do with divination. Like tarot is a lifestyle, a form of living made by the not even made but curated by the Egyptians, studied by the Egyptians, and then created into cards to hold. No, that's a European big fat lie. Tarot was made by the Egyptians to have the way of life put on the cards with symbology. Pictures speak 1,000 words. And whenever the Crusades were happening, whenever Lower Egypt was being raided and the Gypsies and the Kemetites were being murdered and slaughtered and pushed off their land, the Gypsies then began to create cards to keep the wisdom solidified in some form of documented way. And then when the Romans came around, the Europeans came around, and seeing the gypsies using the cards, they began to outlaw it by bringing the raid of Christianity. That was the Crusades that was happening around that time. So during the Crusades, what the gypsies did is instead of keeping the same way of life of having the true life secrets said, they began doing what's popular now, which is fortune telling with the cards, which isn't a real thing, and it was only allowed to exist because the powers at hand, which was like the main three religions, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, they didn't give a fuck about any of that because it kept the person distracted on the ego rather than giving themselves self empowerment. Which is why so many people get big off of reading for fortune telling nowadays, because again, it doesn't mean a damn fucking thing. It's not true. It's not real. You can't do it. It's not how the tool's supposed to be used. That's why they made a movie about it. That's why so many people are big when they do those things, and the ones that read tarot differently or closer to the true meaning of it are overshadowed in that aspect, because the ones in the powers in control know that when tarot is read the right way, the secrets of when tarot cards are read the right way, excuse me, the secrets of tarot are then revealed. Diligence and discipline, sure, but on what aspect? Nah, the Italy thing is a lie. The Italy thing is just a lie. Don't believe that. They only got popular in Italy because of the whole European housewife card game that was developed after tarot was seized by some of the Romans and then brought back to their homeland. They didn't know how to fucking use the tarot cards. And if you look back at the Italian decks and stuff, they had no major arcana because they were used as actual playing cards. They didn't have major arcana. They had the minor arcana only. The major arcana was only created whenever Pamela Wright made the tarot deck to show the overarching themes of the minor arcana, but in one card. Intersecting all the elements at once. So intersecting the pinnacle, the swords. I mean, excuse me, the wands, the cups, to the swords, to the pinnacles, all of them. So that's what's going on with tarot. No, seriously, Pamela White is a crazy ass individual, dude. Do your research on who Pamela is if you want to understand what tarot is. Like these tarot cards, you want to understand why they're made the way they are, and they're not just made for being cutesy. Every bit of it has a meaning, which is why it's important to break it down. Because Pamela worked aside Aleister Crowley before he went fucking crazy on like drugs. When the so they knew what they were doing. Um, what was it, the Order of the Sun or something? I forgot what cult they were in at the time of creating it, but I like the formation of tarot by Pamela was such a divine inspirational strike that told many secrets and still are still lost to this day because this picture speaks 1,000 words. So to truly delve into the whole secret of what's going on within tarot, it's to look at the intention of every stroke, which takes an eternity to do. No, people don't know who she is, dude. She was an actor, a fucking the Golden Dawn. Thank you, Leah. She was an actor, an artist, a fucking dancer. She was a painter. She was a fucking occultist. Dude, she was all over the place. She was a deranged individual. Not like in a bad way, but she was fucking crazy. And that's beautiful. Every card is different, but you can find every card's meaning within the major arcana. It's very funny. Do you think human design is real? Yeah, what do you mean by that? Are you saying like the study of human design in the sense of like the chart sense of it, or how? You know what I mean? I mean, I'm aware of it. I haven't done too much diving into the system itself, but I've been aware of it. Would I say it's accurate? I mean, in a way, yeah, it's better than a Western astrology in a sense, but you'd have to know how to read it. But exactly, Lucy, the fact that it was made like it was literally just made um to like keep the motion going. I swear she had like all the easels lined up together and painted all the cards in one go. I swear she had to have done that. You know what I mean? There's an actual order of these cards, and it's not by the numerology. Um, and it's fucking bizarre. It really, really is. And when you really start to research tarot and what tarot cards are and the symbology on the cards, all the way down to like hand movements, feet movements, body language, and everything, then you'll start to grasp the very tiniest bits of what's going on within the realm of tarot cards. Always, no worries, no worries. It's what I'm here to do. Yeah, because what came before tarot cards? Tarot. When what was tarot? Tarot is astrology, astronomy, numerology, the soul, spirituality in that sense. If you want to give it like a quick word, that's what it is. So, I try to keep it real. Like I listen, I'm not mentored by the fifth top reader in the world for no reason. I'm not on this path for no silly goof off reason. I take it to heart. It's a genuine passion to get this shit to go right, and for it to stop heading down this path of externalization. Yeah, fifth. He doesn't do those, he doesn't do like readings anymore, but he earned an award for being the top, the fifth most rated reader in the world on an online psychic platform. And then he took like a 10-year spiritual journey where he didn't eat and just researched tarot for 10 years. And then he started posting on YouTube, and I found his channel randomly. And I watched one of the videos where he was doing lessons, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'll hit him up and I'll see." Paid the price, and it has been a incredible journey ever since. Like it's something special because we are deriving tarot one-liners, as we call them. And these tarot one-liners are just really easy, quick ways to describe the tarot cards when doing readings. Like the Hierophant is Taurus energy, obviously, right? It's the Taurus astrology, right? The Hierophant is the key of the tarot, is the key of the tarot cards, right? Is the key, and the key is two keys, and those two keys are an X, which is Gebo, which relates to the relationship, and the priest is given the connectivity sign. It's all these things. The King of Cups is someone that speaks fish, and the Page of Cup is someone who's talking fish and learning how to speak fish. And the fish just means something that lives in the water, right? It's just we're coming up with these one-liners to help readers actually know what the cards are supposed to be. You gotta know runes. Listen, listen. I'm multifaceted. People want to. I get called just a reader all the time. To pitch, you don't know what I read. I read everything. I read this realm for a living. Every damn day I live just to read the realm a little bit more. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna do that. I don't know what the hell is so funny, but that person needs to get off their drugs. Mm-hmm. Aquarius is the man bearing water, the masculine holding the feminine. Oh, I don't need to do that. No, that's fine. I used to make my own runes. I wasn't that good at them. I was a lot better at sigils than runes. Papaya seeds. Papaya seeds are good for detoxing. If you swallow them whole, they'll act as magnets for the parasites. If you chew them up, it can still flush the system, but they're more powerful with swallowing them whole. Yeah, see, I haven't. I used to make. I mean, I made like a few. I don't think they were as good though. I kind of like stopped. but I'm not as confident as in that field. Oh shit, what is this? That's cool. That's fair. Yeah, I feel like a lot of my sigils took inspiration from like a rune type energy. Word, I appreciate that. I haven't had a rune reading. I've been interested in that, but I haven't. I'm not allowed to touch them. I feel that. Sometimes you get put on postpone. You get told not to do something. Let's see here. Interview with the Norns. No, I never met the Norns before. Uh, I may be interested. I'm not too sure. I usually don't interact with anything unless I'm called to. Um, that's just kind of how I keep it. Yeah, I do my best to stay on the path of what I'm doing, and I appreciate what you said, Morena. Truly, I do my best with it. Some days it definitely does not feel the best, but at the end of the day, it's what I gotta do. Because if I don't do it, no one else will, and that's something that has been proven time and time again. Especially if you feel like you're called to do something, no one can do it like you, and it's the reason why you're getting the calling to do it is because it's you that's needed. So it's important to truly stay in that awareness. In the sense of just knowing that like when you're getting that passion to draw something forward, when you're getting all that funding to do one thing, um, it's about moving forward in that. What do you mean you'll stop? Like, was that you throwing a temper tantrum with the laughing emojis? Like, you got some work to do. You got some work to do, buddy. You really do. I'm gonna just be honest. You know, if you can't wait a simple 5 minutes without throwing a tantrum like that, you're 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 in your situation for a reason, and it makes so much sense on why you believe in the readings that you believe in. Unfortunately, it's either you breed types of energies like that from watching them, or or they just naturally attract them. It's a very low vibrational state to be in. It really is. You're into a lot. Yeah, that's cool, I guess. I wouldn't like, especially if you're gonna have a tile of Zion, you should probably have a bit more respect for that title rather than trying to ball bust it by grammar correcting it. You know what I mean? Because you're not doing that title really well and you don't show a good light to it, which means you don't really deserve to have it. So I would work on that before having any form of title that has any form of high vibrational power behind it. Um, Coming from someone that has, you know, walked that line of life before is very important too. Well, how did I know it was you? I didn't know it was you. That has nothing to do with anything, dude. Like, if you really want me to like tell you how it is, if you've been in that business for so long, then why haven't you been successful in it to a venture to where you're no longer looking for an external gratification, but now just living off of an internal gratification? You know what I mean? Why are you still so stuck on blaming it on someone else rather than seeing your own mishaps and misfaults? If you've been doing it for so long, then you should know what the rights and wrongs are, but instead you're looking for a blaming factor on someone else, which is a low vibrational way of being, unfortunately. So, but yeah, I'm gonna just, well, go ask your family about it, and if they don't tell you, then just disconnect. It doesn't matter. Why are you so focused on it? Anyway, I'm done interacting with you because I don't want to get on your vibrational state. I'm going to stay where I am at, and you can stay where you're at. And that's gonna just how it's gonna be. So I'm just done interacting with you completely. Dude, you're telling me, Saint. You're telling me. I ain't got a lick of sense for him, bro. I ain't got salt to lick for him either. This is whatever. I ain't got sugar cube or nothing. Hell. I got nothing. I'm out of ideas. This shit's wild, bro. But I mean, I get it. I used to be at that level too. The only reason why it's showing up anywhere near my energetic field is because it's something that I've gone through in life and it's something I know how to handle. And instead of being the one doing it, I was on the receptive end. Just, showing awareness to what I may have put others through and being able to digest it in an energy that's higher. Yeah, it's just another test. I I look at shit like that 24/7. The second anything pops up like that, I'm like, this is just something that's showing me a bit of me, and I just gotta move forward with it. Yeah, you can ask something, but I probably won't respond to it if it's the same question again. No, same thing here. Saint, genuinely, I will laugh at shit, and people are like, "What's so funny?" It's like everything. Whenever you meet me in the astrals, take a hit and laugh with me. Until then, stay confused for a while. It's okay. We gotta work through it ourselves. This shit's like redundant. It's so stupid. But it's like stupid in the most smart way because it takes someone of us in our degree to like grasp it. And then when we finally grasp it, it's like, oh, really? It's like, yeah, it's really like that. It's, in fact, it's so simple that it's the hardest thing in the world to do because it's so fucking simple and you wouldn't believe it. But the fact that we still struggle day to day to figure it out is funny. And it's not like, haha, you're doing it wrong and you're stupid. It's like, damn, I'm really putting pressure on this when I don't need to do that at all. It's bizarre. And I'm doing well, Pooja. How are you? And I didn't put you in timeout, Xeon. That wasn't me. Um, and I already know about that. That's like entry level things, buddy. That's okay though. But how do you stop people from interfering with you in the fifth dimensions through telepathy? Mental defense. Set up mental blockages. If you don't want it, it shouldn't come towards you. The fact that it's coming towards you is because there's a part of you that's desiring it. Humanity is an oxymoron. That is true. That is very true. Truth is a double-edged sword, definitely. And life is an oxymoron. Humanity is just like, dude. For humans, we're not very humane. We're very much the definition of it in the law book, which is a fucking monster. But we're not a monster by. Well, I can't say that either. We are a monster by choice. We choose to fall for the contradictions. You don't have to take the bait, but we're so used We're not even so used to doing it. We just decided to do it one day and decided that that was the path, the only path for some reason. We don't have to take the bait, but we end up doing it anyway. And it's because we keep looking outside of ourselves and associating, like, oh, if they're doing this, they must be doing something good. When in actuality, they're just confused and lost as well. So when you start following your heart space and moving forward in that energy, it's like you end up finding everything. Yeah, same thing for yeah, exactly, Daniel. Just like you can literally glamour people by doing that. It's just however. Um, but always, if something infuriates you, it's showing that there's something inside of you that's being agitated. Because nothing would cause you that sort of feeling unless it's an open wound. So really learning how to work with it and maneuver around it is a huge key. Yeah, life is funny, bro. Life is hilarious. We only take it serious because we're playing our role really well whenever we don't really need to play it that serious. You know what I mean? It's a defensiveness of a character that's ever changing, that never is ever solidified in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, because like the sender is you. Whatever, when you do a, okay, when you hear a funny thing, if someone's sending you negative energy and you do a return to sender, it's staying with you. It's not going back to the other person. What's going back to the other person is your thoughts to and about them. Because the only reason why you would assume anyone is sending you negative energy is because you have negative energy attached to that person. And that negative energy isn't negative or feminine in any shape, way, or form, other than it being in a feeling state. It's pessimistic energy that you're dealing with. So it's so important. Yeah, because emotions are just the way you're emoting. ION is just energy. It's an ion, you know? So emotions aren't really a thing, it's an external thing. Emotions are your reaction and feelings are your um well, I should say it this way, it'd make more sense. Emotions are your effect and feelings are your cause. So, if we're going to talk about it, because everyone wants to say your emotions hold power. No, your emotions hold feeling. Well, they hold power in that sense, but they don't produce anything other than fate. If you wanted to follow destiny, follow the truth of the feeling state so it can be charged in the correct ways. I'd only, well, it depends on what you mean by that, sweetie. But what are you meaning by clarification about something that happened yesterday? And I can see about it. It's 1 o'clock. What the fuck? Damn. I should probably go to bed soon. I didn't think it's that late. What the hell? That's crazy. Time flies. What? It circulates. But whatever. It flies. 3 hours? What the hell? Man, it's gonna be that 5 hour long stream all over again. It don't feel like it. It's the Grand Rising Hero Grand Rising. I mean, that doesn't tell me anything, sweetie, so I still don't know. I need to know what I'm reading about, or I won't be able to do a reading on it. I don't know if you're heading the right way, Lucy. I got you. I'll stay on here. What time is it? 98. I got 7 more minutes, and then I'll probably hop off and take me a break. Depending, I don't know. You never know. I say a time limit, and then it never gets held to standard, so we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not that weird of a question. It's definitely readable. Yeah, but I need to know, like, what about the relationship are you wanting to know? Because all tarot is going to really tell you about that relationship is why you are in that situation, and for that purpose, not about anyone else. So if you're wondering about another person, can't help you. If you're wondering about yourself, you came to the right place. But yeah, I can go for right path. That's something you can ask, because your right path is your destined path or your soul given path. However, you know what I mean. But Lucy, right now with the Lovers reverse, you're not on the right path. There's something that's not being funded correctly. There needs to be a closer look at what the disconnect is between you and your actions. If you've been feeling like something hasn't been moving the right way, or that you're struggling to get something to lift off the ground, it's because of that disconnect. So really pay attention to see what that disconnect is. There's a higher sense, there's a higher self that isn't being followed, there's a higher meaning to what you're supposed to be doing. And in order to see that, you need to connect to yourself. With the Nine of Swords, you could be having certain dreams, not sleeping well, not resting well, having thoughts that are causing you headaches, or swarming around you a lot, keeping you stuck and stagnant. And that's what's keeping you disconnected. So if you're overthinking about a situation, detach from it and connect more to a nurturing source. If you're worried about something not working out, understand that your rational mind is already working on solutions for how to fix it, and it's up to you to tap into that heart space to fuel that rational mind to show you the solutions to that problem. But let me get, yeah, I can see about that, Pooja. I can see about that. Actually, I'm feeling called to do this. Right. Alright, let's see here. So Pooja, we have the Three of Pentacles. Right now is a time to really work and cooperate with the divine. The Three of Pentacles shows you, the Mason, the feminine nature, the divine, and a priest. The priest is what you're looking at on the physical to see where you need to be placed at. So focus your attention on the divine at this time so that it can fuel your heart space the correct way. And so you know what direction and when to take the right moves. Right now is all about cooperating with the divine on the physical. So giving yourself that rest, but also paying attention to the signs around you is super important. Yeah, with judgment when coming out, your higher self is definitely guiding you and lifting you to a higher realm when it comes down to this move. So really just pay attention to your higher self, pay attention to the divine at this time because you're being given exact instructions for how you're supposed to move and where you're going to be moving. Like where, not really location wise, but where in the sense of a spiritual wise, and as well as like a self evolution wise. So focus on that at this time. That's what you need to look out for. Is just following the path. And with them to being upright, you've already been doing that. Just continue down that path of listening to your higher self, listening to the divine, watching for the signs and things of that nature. That's what I got for you, Peter. Goodness. No, you don't want to go where fate. Because fate is your rational mind. You're gonna follow your destiny. Your heart space is where your destiny resides. Your fate is a rational minded self that leads you down the wrong path. So don't follow your fate. Fate is created by man. Destiny is given by the divine. So stay in the path of destiny, which is what you're on. Don't go to the path of fate. That's an opposite move that you want to make at this time. Yeah, fate is not good. Fate is something that you make in times of lack, in times of, black magic per se, is what people say, but it's really called fate, where something ends up restricting you on the physical due to how your thinking is. Destiny comes from the heart, fate comes from the mind. When you are in your imagination that comes from a heart state being, your mind can also create its own imagination as well because they both intertwine in that sense. But imagination, it roots from the heart space and that childlike wonder of creating. And if the rational mind gets a hold of it and corrupts it, then you end up with fate. But if the rational mind supports what the heart is showing it, then it ends up creating the destiny, creating that golden standard, the golden brick road. Um, you know, the trip to Oz, if you will. I appreciate love that, Aussie. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, I don't know how long I'm gonna be on here still. So I'm probably gonna go to sleep immediately. Even though I'm supposed to be calling someone. I don't think I want to or can. I don't think I want to or can. I'm gonna have to tell him I don't want to. That's okay. But yeah, I'll call it here in like 4 minutes. If anyone else has questions or whatnot within these next 4 minutes is when to get it. But I'm gonna stand by that. I'm putting my foot down for 4 minutes. I'll get enough rest. I know I will. I mean, well, unless I keep going. I have been having crazy ass astral fucking ups and downs. Can someone actually curse someone? Yeah, curses exist in a sense. Someone can curse you, The way curses work though are very particular. Um, because if a curse is done by an individual, it needs to constantly be fed. So whatever entity they use to curse you needs to be continuously fed. Which is why some curses aren't strong and other curses are, because it depends on how well they're feeding the entity, how much energy they're actually feeding into it, and how much they're actually working with it. Um, the easiest way to break a curse is to stop identifying with someone else's thought patterns of who you are, what you're doing, or in that sense away. Yeah, you can ask if your path is right here and now. If you're asking that for like a 2 card pull, I could get that. Goodness gracious, hello. Lightning is still going. I'm gonna have to do that tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day I'm uploading that video for the sleep protection and stuff. I'm gonna film that tomorrow because I found the book it was in. There's also a bunch of symbols in this book. I don't know if I'm gonna use any of them or not, but I might. But I might. But yeah, these 2 minutes are the last 2 minutes to get things situated. Yeah, it's been thundering and lightning and raining this entire stream. It's been very, very nice background. But I already have that one protection stuff uploaded, and that stuff is really good. You know, you can do that stuff before you sleep, just like the first 2 rituals that I did in that video. And then you will be like good for basically the whole night. Oh man. Well, yeah, I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna go to bed. It's on the dot. I'm holding myself to it. But I'm gonna go rest and then rise and then do my reading and all sorts of stuff. Not the reading, the book. The book stuff. I'll do the book stuff. My brain is just not working right now. Anyway, thank you all for being here. I'm gonna post this again because I always do at the end of streams. So my apologies, but I do. But regardless, I love each and every one of y'all to the moon and back. All the information you need to contact me, donate, or website, or however is there. If you need to email me, go for it. But regardless, I love each and every one of you all to the moon and back, tenfold and forever, and I will see you all later.